this Paul Lambert?
It is.
Oh, hello. I'm writing an important paper, and I heard you were a member of this club called Skull and Bones.
I'm not. I don't have a comment on that. Our membership is private. The membership is private, and I really can't tell you whether I am or I'm not.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. But maybe you can tell me, how do you get into Skull and Bones then?
I can't talk about it.
Or how did it all start?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Is there anything you can tell me?
That's our policy. It's policy in the organization, and so I really, I'm not at liberty to violate it.
So there's nothing to the secrecy except the secrecy?
Right. One of the things that happens in consequence of our unwillingness to discuss in detail what it's about. That anybody can make up a story and we won't even discuss it.
And that, being in the research business, that kind of gets you interested. And I started to piece it together. And I'd heard rumors, as everybody else has, about power structures and establishments within countries. And it was the meshing of these people who had sworn an oath to each other, were very powerful, and limited to possibly 20 or 30 families of the old Eastern European establishment. That intrigued me, and then bit by bit I began to put the story of the book together, and probably it took me 3 to 4 years.
These people that join organizations such as Bones or the Masons actually leave their family relations that they had when they were children and prolong that intimate family relationship with their brothers from the lodge. And they swear to take care of each other's interests, and they do it. And when that in the normal conduct of life is probably okay, but when one of them becomes president of the United States, it's time to ask questions. What have you sworn to do for your brothers? And what interests are you pushing that are really on their agenda and not on the agenda of the American people?
Are there any famous members or well-known members?
George Bush.
The George Bush?
Yeah. But that kind of focus is not of great interest to the members.
How do you mean?
Because we're much more interested in the personal issues than external achievement.
The best-known Bonesman is ex-President George Bush, who, according to tradition, is supposed to avoid admitting he's a member, even when the question comes in the Oval Office.
Mr. President, are you a member of Skull and Bones?
What we have here is a private network acting really in violation of the United States Constitution, infesting the White House, the National Security Council, the State Department, the Pentagon, the CIA, and other government institutions. And they've been carrying out a policy which was not the policy of the President or the Congress, not a policy that was approved by the voters.
They are still the representatives of a long tradition, a 1,000 years tradition, from the Knights Templar through the Illuminati, through the Masons, through the Puritan families, and all of those families that went to Yale, founded Yale, and have used Yale to become powerful. Are they done? No. There's all that tradition, and it has to be protected, and it has great wealth to protect. And how do they protect it? They'll find new means. They'll hold offices, they'll hold appointive offices and elective offices, and they will be in charge of huge amounts of money.
Do you know how it all started out so long ago?
I really don't know much about the history of the group. No, I don't. It's been established for, I think, about 150 years in New Haven by undergraduates and graduates of Yale University. 15 members are elected each year. Basically, personal relationships are the most important product of the years that you spend in relationship to the organization.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very personal experience.
The core of Skull and Bones is 15 or 20 families. These are old line families. They came to the United States from England about the 1600s, 1700s. And you've got the Lords and the Wadsworths and the Bushes. So the core, as you go through the early 20th century, is comprised of 15 or 20 families, partially from old line American families going back to the Pilgrims, and partially from money, banking money, that came up through the late 19th century.
How do you get into this club?
The ones that were there before choose you.
And what goes on during initiation?
Nothing very extraordinary, but it's held very closely.
You cannot ask to join Skull and Bones. You can't apply. What happens, as I've pieced it together, is that you are watched. See, this is a senior society, so you're 2 years at Yale before you're invited to join, if you're going to be invited. There's only 15 members each year, and you're being watched, and you're being catalogued, and you're being assessed. You know, is he a good team player? Is he a good sportsman? This kind of thing. And then the previous year, members of the previous year decide who is going to be tapped, the 15 new members, and then a representative of the last year's cell goes out and they ask, do you want to be tapped, or do you want to be joined or not?
Al sinds de oprichting van Skull and Bones geldt Tap Day als een belangrijk evenement op Yale.
And the emissaries of the various secret societies would come up behind them, tap them on the shoulder, and say something like, "Skull and Bones, do you accept?" And generally, of course, they did accept. And then, as the people were tapped, they then left the courtyard and proceeded to the vault-like or mausoleum-like headquarters of these secret societies. That, I think, since has been abolished or moved indoors or somehow is no longer so easy to observe as it might have been, say, 50 or 100 years ago.
Initiation ceremony. They have the initiation ceremony. Somebody gets dumped naked in a bath of mud. Well, to me that seems juvenile. And what concerns me is these are the men in which the fortunes and the life of the world depend.